And then we have here the color and value. So as I have explained earlier, objects away from us or on our side appears lighter. So if you can see in this picture, this one here appears lighter than here now. And then so we have details. So objects that are near us appear darker and more detailed compared to the objects that are far from our sight. So in this example, so this appears darker and more detailed than the object away from our sight. Okay. Okay, so we are done with the space. Now let's move on to another element, which is texture. So a piece of sculpture, a building, and a painting may have texture, which can be described in much the same way. So when we say texture, it refers to the way things feel or look as if they might feel if touched. Now, so um, we have here types of texture, the physical and the visual texture. The physical texture is the texture that you can actually feel with your hand. So the moment you touch a particular art form, so that comprises how rough or how smooth a particular art form, no, during or by the time that you touch them refers to the physical texture. So the build up of paint, the slipperiness of soft pastels, the layering of collage, and all of these things that change the nature of a surface refers to physical texture, while visual texture is the illusion of physical texture created with the materials you use. So paint can be manipulated to give the impression of a texture while the support surface remains smooth and flat. So transparent watercolor or gouache generate a little physical texture other than the roughness of the paper they are applied to. So while in pastel oil, paint, or mixed media allow advantages to be taken of physical as well as visual texture. So in architecture and sculpture, physical texture is more obvious, but visual texture is still employed. Okay, so that's the difference between physical and visual texture. Here is an example of a visual texture. The large variety of marble used in St. Peter's Cathedral now in Rome gives a rich visual texture while the surface remain hard and smooth. Now, so the surface of this um, marble altar now in St. Peter's Cathedral actually is just hard and smooth, but looking at it, we can actually feel a different variety of texture. No? So it gives off a visual texture or the feeling. Now. So here is an example of a physical texture. So feeling this particular art form, we could actually feel the shapes, the roughness, and everything, in this painting or in this art form, by just merely touching it. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the next element of art, which is the value. So, value in art is not like the general value that we know now, such as being expensive or being um, cheap or whatever it is that you give value to. No, that is not the way in art. So, value in art refers to the darkness or lightness of something. Like, is it black, gray, white? Now, those are examples of values, how light or dark things are. Okay, so a value is the key to the illusion of light. That is why value is so incredibly important to drawing and painting. Okay, so of course, without the light, we cannot see anything. So in order to draw or paint in a way that creates an illusion of what we normally see, we must fully understand light and how it reacts on the surface. So we have here types of value. The high key color scheme, which describes a set of colors that range from mid-tone hues to white. And then we have a low key color scheme. This is the use of mainly dark colors. It spans the range of mid-tone to black. So in general, the high key range provides upbeat options while low key colors provide more dramatic ones. So the role of these colors play in is a major factor in the mood or atmosphere that is created because color elicits emotion. So it helps to play up the feeling that the artist wants to evoke. Okay, so here is an example of a value scale which serves as a guide to creating a range of value. Good pieces of art have a full range of value. So a scale of value where just be going from dark to light and vice versa. Value will just tells us what are things that are light or dark or something in the middle. So ano niya akong giinggan niya katong high key and the low key. Okay, so we call it the value scale.